the hair stands on end because the coldness, the callousness and coldness is palpable.
And first, I kind of wanted to lay the general base of psychopathy. And there's a quote in the book where you say, "I see psychopathy like others see art. I can't define it, but I know when I see it." So to you, I wanted to ask, as someone who's studied violent psychopaths for over a decade, you've analyzed their brains in the book, and we can say it up front because you learned very early on in the book, I believe it's also on the book jacket, that you discovered that you yourself fit into the category of psychopath. You describe yourself as a pro-social psychopath in the book. So I wanted to ask you, what do you see as the brush strokes of being a psychopath? Because you may not be able to define it, very specifically. Like, you can't define the Mona Lisa, but like, what do you see as the brush strokes of what makes a psychopath a psychopath?
Just the whole predatory nature of it. I mean, there are other personality disorders like borderline personality disorder and that are predatory also. So one of the problems is that psychopathy overlaps with these other personality disorders, and not only that, but with different psychopathologies. Now, psychopathologies are like major depression and schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder, and those there's a large, a hefty percentage of murderers are in those psychiatric groups too. But there is a dissociative sense about, you talk to people who have this. I'm not a psychopath. That's I have traits of psychopathy, of this pro-social. If you have pro-social psychopathic traits, it allows you to navigate through society and seem absolutely normal. Okay, and so I may not seem that right now, but generally people who would meet me or other people with these traits would say I was a nice regular guy, and I consider myself just a regular guy for sure. And I think, but if you meet a full-blown psychopath, the hair stands on end because the coldness, the callousness and coldness is palpable. And I've, interviewed people who are just really pretty severe, who are real predators and are pedophiles, rapists, murderers. You talk to them, they dissociate themselves so much from the acts that they perform. They distance themselves.